Nicholas Rossi update and bonus update on his wife Miranda, because I know y'all been asking about that too. First, the main event. Rossi was back in court in front of Judge Pullan for his sentencing in his second felony conviction. Once again, we kicked off with the prosecution and the victims making their case as to why Rossi should get the maximum sentence. And 9 different women who Rossi assaulted but was never charged with crimes over wrote letters pleading to the court that the judge lock Rossi up and throw away the key. Rossi's defense team asked for leniency, arguing that Rossi was a victim of abuse himself from an early age. And because Rossi was already going away for 5 to life from his first conviction, that the judge here not dogpile him, that he make the sentences concurrent, and that he give Rossi credit for the 3.5 years served in jails awaiting trial. It was at that point that Judge Pullan asked Rossi himself if he had anything he wished to say before the sentence was rendered. And hoo boy, did Rossi have a speech prepared.
Thank you, Your Honor, and may it please the court. The noted conservative commentator, George F. Will, has said in recent days, or in recent years, that victimhood is the new status symbol. Like a small dog or a new purse, everyone needs to be a victim because that is their way of signifying their status and their status symbol. I don't have a lengthy statement full of flowery language and hyperbole that I want the court to consider. However, I would say that these women are lying and that what they have done is unjust, unkind, and not plausible in the eyes of the law. So when I do say, which I do say now, that I am not guilty and I plan to lodge an appeal in due course, it is with the utmost sincerity of who I know I am and who I strive to be, which is a kind person who has the capacity for sympathy and empathy beyond what can be described here. All I can say is that I know who I am, and I am not the person as aforementioned. Thank you, Your Honor.
Yeah, so once again, Rossi still insists he's innocent and that he's being framed and that he will be vindicated upon appeal. And with no remorse on Rossi's part or recognition of his own wrongdoing, Judge Pullan threw Rossi's own words back at him and rendered his decision. If victimhood is the new status symbol, it is a status you falsely claimed for yourself in an effort to avoid conviction. 5 years to life served consecutively. Rossi will not be given credit for the time he served in jail in Scotland trying to fight extradition because the judge says that was detainment of his own making. But he will be given credit for the 662 days he did spend in Utah jails awaiting trial, which means 8 years to life in prison. But the Utah Parole Board might have other ideas, and they could grant him a parole hearing sooner than that. Of course, that hearing would be based on if Rossi has accepted responsibility, if he's changed his ways, and if he has kept his nose clean in jail, and already that's not happening. Yes, it's been revealed that Rossi has been calling his wife Miranda long distance back in the UK from inside jail. Nearly 4,500 times. That's almost 7 times a day. And almost 350 of those calls were made using the PIN numbers of other inmates. One of Rossi's MOs was always to con and steal money from other people. And if he's now running cons from inside the big house against other prisoners, well, that's gonna catch up with him real quick. Prosecutors have said that Miranda is in Bristol. I know that's where she's from originally, but I can't independently verify if she really has gone back there, or if she's still in Scotland, or if she's somewhere else in the UK. I also don't know if she's actually answering the phone when he calls, or if she's just ghosting him. All I do know is that he is calling her a lot. So what happens next? Well, Rossi has already declared he will be appealing his first conviction, and just now says he will be appealing this one as well, and he has 30 days in which to file that appeal here. I personally don't think those appeals are going to go anywhere, but Rossi is certainly going to give it his all. Hopefully, though, Rossi will stay locked up for a good long time, but I can't help but get the sneaking suspicion his antics are going to find him back in the news sooner than we think, and there will be more Nicholas Rossi updates to come. Stay tuned.